Today's lesson is on solving equations using multiplication and division. First, we'll look at our key idea for the multiplication property of equality. If you multiply each side of an equation by the same non-zero number, the two sides remain equal. So if we have 8 divided by 4 equals 2, and we want to multiply each side by 4, you can see that we would get 8 equals 8. For algebra, if we have x divided by 4 equals 2, and we multiply each side by 4, we would get that x equals 8. And if we plug that back in, 8 divided by 4 is 2. For our first example, we're solving equations using multiplication. For a, we're going to solve w divided by 4 equals 12. If we are dividing by 4 in the problem, we're going to do the opposite, which would be to multiply by 4, and we'll do that to both sides. On here, if we are going to multiply by 4, it's the same thing as 4 over 1. Then we can simplify 4 and 4 because they're across from each other, and you could divide both of them by 4. So each number then would become 1. This is how you just are left with w on the left-hand side. And then 12 times 4 is 48. So w equals 48. If I want to check my solution, I take 48 and I plug it in for w, which is what it's here on the right. 48 divided by 4 is 12, so our answer is correct. For b, we're solving x divided by 7 equals 5. If we are dividing by 7 in the problem, we're going to do the opposite, which would be to multiply by 7. If we start out with a number and we divide it by 7, and then we multiply it by 7, these basically are canceling each other out. So that's how we're just left with x. And then 5 times 7 is 35. So x would equal 35. If you take this and plug it in for x, you can see on the right-hand side we'll have 35 divided by 7 equals 5. And that is a true statement. Now we have an additional example. You can pause the video and try it on your own, or you may follow along. For number 1, we have a divided by 8 equals 6. We are dividing by 8 in this problem, so we're going to do the opposite, which would be to multiply by 8. So we have a divided by 8, and then we'll multiply by 8, and that will be equal to 6 times 8. We want to make sure we do the same thing on both sides. We multiply both sides by 8. For the left-hand side, this would be 8 over 1. 8 and 8 can both be divided by 8. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. On the left-hand side, we're just left with a. And on the right-hand side, 6 times 8 is 48. So a equals 48. If I check my solution, I can put 48 in for a, and 48 divided by 8 is 6. For number 2, I have z divided by 2 equals 10. Since I'm dividing by 2, I'm going to do the opposite, which would be to multiply by 2 in order to solve this problem. So I have z divided by 2, and then times 2, and that would be equal to 10 times 2. If I divide by 2 and then multiply by 2, those will cancel each other out, so I'm just left with z, and that would be equal to 10 times 2, which is 20. If I check my solution, 20 divided by 2 is 10. And for number 3, I have 9 equals y divided by 15. I am dividing by 15 in my problem, so the opposite would be to multiply by 15. So I'm going to have 9 times 15, and that would be equal to y divided by 15 times 15. I have to multiply both sides by 15. On the right-hand side, this could be 15 over 1, and then you can see that you can simplify 15 and 15 by dividing by 15, so they would each then end up being 1. On the right-hand side, now you're just left with y, And on the left-hand side, 9 times 15 is 135. You can also write this as y equals 135. Now if I check my solution, I can put 135 in for y, and 135 divided by 15 is 9. Now we'll look at our key idea for the division property of equality. If you divide each side of an equation by the same non-zero number, the two sides remain equal. So if I have 8 times 4 equals 32, and I divide both sides by 4, I'll end up with 8 equals 8. For algebra, if I have 4x equals 32, if I divide each side by 4, I will end up getting that x equals 8. If I then plug that back in, 4 times 8 is 32. For our second example, we're solving an equation using division. We're going to solve 5b equals 65. For 5b equals 65, we are multiplying 5 times b in the problem. The opposite of multiplication is division, so we'll divide each side by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we're just left with b on the left-hand side, and then 65 divided by 5 is 13. So b will equal 13. You can go back and check this, and you'll see that 5 times 13 equals 65. Now we have an additional example. You can pause the video and try it on your own, or you may follow along. For number 4, we have p times 3 equals 18. For this problem, we are multiplying 3 and p. The opposite of multiplying by 3 would be to divide by 3. So we can have p times 3 and then divided by 3, and that would be equal to 18 divided by 3. You can see that on both sides of our equation, we're doing the same thing. We're dividing by 3. If we have p and we multiply it by 3, and then we turn on and divide it by 3, those are going to be canceled out. So we're just going to be left with p. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. If we take this answer and plug it back in, 6 times 3 is 18. So our answer is correct. P equals 6. For number 5, we have 12q equals 60. (12q) would be 12 times q. The opposite of multiplying would be to divide, so we're going to divide each side by 12. We can also show division by just drawing a line underneath and then putting our 12 under our problem. This line shows division, so we're going to divide each side by 12. 12 divided by 12 is just 1, so we're left with just q on the left-hand side, and 60 divided by 12 is 5. So q equals 5. When we go to check this, 12 times 5 is equal to 60. Now for number 6, we have 81 equals 9r. 9r would be 9 times r. The opposite of multiplying by 9 would be to divide by 9. So we're going to divide each side by 9. You can show division by just drawing a line under it and then writing your 9 underneath the problem. 81 divided by 9 is 9. And on the right-hand side, 9 divided by 9 is 1. So we're just going to be left with r. So 9 equals r, which you can also write as r equals 9. Now if we plug this back in, 9 times 9 is 81. So our answer is correct. Don't forget to fill out your notes, and remember to watch the video again if needed.